Hey everybody, my name is Denise and I am at Nuttalls in Salt Lake City, Utah. I wanted to share a video with you on the Bernina longarm with Qmatic on realigning the safe area. I feel like that's one of the biggest questions that I get from my students and customers, and I think nationwide that's a question that we get. So I just wanted to show you a quick demonstration of how to realign your safe area using Qmatic. So I have stitched out, it's actually a new design from Anita Good Design. I've stitched out my design. I'm going to end my stitching. With the new update on Qmatic, it actually automatically does a tie off. So I'm just going to cut my threads. I could leave those threads connected and just shift the quilt and continue on. It's a little tricky with the belts locked in Qmatic. So I've quilted. I'm going to advance the quilt. And just keep in mind when you do this, you have to be able to get your next design entirely in the safe area. So sometimes if you go a little too far, don't go far enough, you have to adjust. But I know about how big my next design is, so I'm going to shift up that far, get my fabric straightened back out again. I'm going to use, I hope I have enough batting. This is actually wool batting. Put my clamps on. Okay, so what I need to do next is move my sew head, the machine, to a reference point on the design that's easy to distinguish, like a point or an intersection. I can actually go right to where the design finished and use that as my reference point. So my sew head, my needle is right at a clear reference point. Then I'm gonna come over to the computer. I've zoomed in a little bit so that I can see my detail a little bit better. This icon right here is Realign Safe Area, so I'm going to select that. Two options, two methods for how to do this. I personally prefer to use the Reposition on screen because I can actually see the movement happening. So I'm going to select that. If you choose to do snap to point, you just touch on the point and it goes there, but it happens so instantly that I feel like being able to see the action happen with the Reposition on screen for me is a little bit easier. So now I'm simply going to drag my whole safe area, which is the box, and you'll see this is my needle. So I need to drag my needle, my crosshair there, to line right up with where my needle actually is. So if we go back to the fabric, my needle is right at that point there. It's a little bit tricky to see with the foot in the way, but the needle is right at that intersection. I've realigned my safe area up on the screen so that that crosshair, which represents the needle, is at the exact same spot. I'll hit my check mark. I will zoom out a little bit to see where I'm at, hit my play button, and I need to, I'm a tiny bit, you can see the design I want to stitch is just a hair out of my safe area. So I need to adjust just a little bit. But what's going to happen is my next design is going to line up perfectly. I don't have to, there's no guesswork, there's no math involved. I just need to use that feature on the machine. Oops. And it will line up perfectly. So there's no guesswork, there's no math, it just does it perfectly. So let's try this again.
What we could do is we could yell something really loud.
And now it turned green, it's good to go. It's gonna start right back up and I'll be back on track. Thank you for watching. If you have other questions for me or if you have other things you want me to show, let me know. Hope you have a good day. Thanks.